I was so excited. I got the day underway right on time. It wasn't even a second late. I got to the meadows in time, warmed the horses up. To be quite frank, the highlight of my day was going to be watching Ollie play baseball in Guelph tonight. It was such a sweltering hot day here at the meadows. It never dawned on me. Obviously, Guelph was quite a ways away. It's 5 hours from the meadows. And somewhere in that 5-hour drive, there was a rainstorm. I just talked to Steve 2 minutes ago, and he literally told me it was the worst rainstorm he'd ever seen in his life. I think that was verbatim, almost. And Amy showed me some pictures of the flooding, even around Guelph. And there was, even though the sun came out at noon or 1 o'clock, she said, Anthony, there's no way this game's going to be played. So the team has a message board, and the organizers are on there. And I said, is there any chance this game's going to go? I'm now leaving. I have to go to Guelph anyway to pick up Ava, but I'm now leaving Pennsylvania on my way to Guelph. Geez, it'd be great to see this game. 1 o'clock they canceled it. So I was a little bummed out about that, but what are you going to do? It's rain. Not much you can do. So now Amy, not only does it inconvenience my night because I don't get to see Ollie play ball, Amy offered to drive Ava and Addie and Ollie, obviously, down to Niagara Falls. We'd meet down there. So now, I guess we were going to meet the ball game anyway, but driving down the QEW at 4:30, yeah, I'd rather pull my toenails off with a pair of vice grips than drive down the 401 and the QEW at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. No thanks. The horses went pretty good. I'm not going to try to understate this, but I'm going to be honest with everybody. Don't worry about what a lady, what a night's break. One, she was in with Pacers, and all three of those horses had flip-flops on today. All three of them chewed up their hind legs, and the track was deep as a bugger today. I'll tell you what, that filly at Tim's won a hell of a mile after looking, all things considered. I had beat Ron Burke at the wire, and he must have kind of liked this colt or filly, maybe, I'm not sure what it was, a little bit, because he said, that's a hell of a mile over here today, half in 59, a mile in 55. I said, yeah, it was. That's Time Is On My Side's younger sister by Better's Wish. The farm ended up keeping the filly and giving her to Tim. So I'm really happy. I didn't really pay much attention, and I don't know if she flew under the radar or what all winter long, but it certainly looked like a filly you could be raving about for sure. She was really impressive this morning. So congratulations. Now, obviously, it's not a win picture. It's not a purse check, but congratulations to them. She was did everything perfectly today. What a sweetheart of a filly she is. Anyway, good for them. Our horses, yes, what a lady, what an 8, made a break. She was in with Pacers, and she had hit it right before she ran. I saw exactly what she did. I watched it unfold right in front of me. She's picking up speed in the turns, trotting the turns great. Which really doesn't matter because she's going to a mile track. She's going to Springfield, Illinois State Fair, DeCoin, Springfield, and Hawthorne. So, got to get her trot the straightaways perfect. It had nothing to do with her mechanics today. She reached up and hit that right jack. Pop. It hasn't hit anywhere. It's just wore bandages for forever. Reached up and hit that jack. Didn't hurt it. She drew blood a little bit, but didn't hurt it in the long run. And just stung herself and made a break. Came up trotting and finished up her mile. I had her own mile in 2:5 and 3. Now it says distance. Distance is 35 lengths. They went in 57. Distance would be 2:4. I had her in 2:5 and 3 with a break. So she was going to go a mile in 2:1, 2:2, probably 2:2. And she'll go back there next week. And aside from all of this, let's say I'm wrong. Let's say her gait doesn't clean up without the flip-flops on. She's a little rickety. Fine. We'll just put the hobbles on her. I don't want to. I don't think she needs them. I trained her the other day, 2:5 last half of a minute at Northfield, and she was great. She's ready to go a mile in 2 minutes now, and one way or another she will. Next Tuesday, I'm almost certain of it. So don't worry about what a lady, what a night. We're going to qualify them twice anyway, or qualify and race once, and then send to Illinois. I saw what happened today. I'm pretty sure we can fix it quite easily, and she'll be back at it next week. High hopes, 2, 2, and 3. Now, I was super careful with her, and don't read too much into the 6 beat 17. Those raged horses. The mare that won that race, yeah, she got a mark of 54. and a very good horse on beat. So don't read into the 6 beat 17. Those are aged, hardened horses. There was some 2-year-olds in there, I shouldn't say that, but 1, 2, 3 were all aged horses, I believe. And I was super careful with her. I didn't want another break. She was actually trotting good today, but we had bandaged on her behind, but I noticed that she'd picked herself middle of the week. So rather than put kind of what I felt might have been cumbersome boots back on her, I tell everybody, and I know to each his own, but sometimes when you put those trot boots on them and they get into their jacks, they get into their hind shins, they end up getting into their knees, right? It affects their gait and disrupts their gait. So we just opted just put a light neoprene pair of shin boots on her hind shins up around her jacks. Just to cover up, just vet wrapped over them. No big deal. Chewed the vet wrap off both of those. Now, didn't injure herself. Any of the boots were there, but chewed the vet wrap off both of those hind shin and jack areas. So her, I'm less apt to say take the flip-flops off. We are just now getting her qualified to the point where, geez, if I didn't have to protect her, she might have trotted 2-1 today or 2 minutes at a piece. That puts her in Stallion Series contention, right? So just be careful. I'm not going to make any wholesale changes. I may not even put boots on her. We may just go with what we do with Gypsy Hill. If you've ever seen just the shell of the boot, I don't usually use those at all, but just the shell of the plastic outer part of the boots. They sell them. They sell the trot things like that. And what Jason did was, where Gypsy Hill hit on his jack, he Gorilla Glued just a little pad on the inside of that shell just for a little more protection. And what we do is we put vet wrap on the leg, put that shell on, and vet wrap over the shell. And if you watch closely, if you look next time Gypsy Hill races, every time he races, he chews the vet wrap up on that high shin jack area. Doesn't bother him at all. He's fine the next day. There's no swelling now. He's good. I think that's what we might do for High Hopes next week. It looks like she will go to Scioto now. So we'll have a traveling partner for Oh Hill No to the Buckeye Series. So I was happy with High Hopes. A flat line, officially, it's hard to come by some days with her. So I was really happy with, and never put a step in. At no point did I really have an anxious moment where I'm like, ooh, that was close. Not really. I didn't feel any of that. I thought she was rather good today, so I was happy with her. And I told you guys how Ali Scott Grid trained the other day. I thought the horse was massively improved. In fact, I told you of all the horses we trained the other day, I thought he was the most impressive. Just because of where he came from, what he did, and how he went about it over the last month. I haven't seen him that much. When I trained him the other day, I said to Jason, now, it wasn't a great training day for everybody. The fillies were good, the colts were very ordinary, but overall, I told Jason when I come off the track, if you were to ask me who trained the best today, I think Ali's Got Great trained the best today, which was surprising to both Jasons. But qualifier today, he wasn't at the quarter in 29 seconds. There was a runaway on the front that made a break out by head heavy by 5 lengths when he came out of the turn. My own first quarter was 30-2, half and 101 and 1, 131 and 1 a mile, or 131 and 3. I don't know, 101 a piece, 131 a piece, 201 a piece. Last quarter in 30 seconds. And he looked good doing it and felt good doing it. He, too, touched his left jack, though. I saw just one drop of blood, just one spot. I saw when he did it, too. When he came out of the last turn, I kicked the earplugs and growled at him. He put one step in real quick, and I know, you're a little pop. No big deal. I'm not too worried about it. We get the flip-flops off. I don't think any of those horses needed them take. Maybe High Hopes. I'm not screwing around with her. But the other two, those flip-flops will come off right away. And if I'm not mistaken, they're both rocking flip-flops and 5/8. We're just going to go to a 9/16 on both of them with maybe a line of borium across the toe or 3 little corks. I always like to go with the 3 little corks, but I had a great conversation with a couple of times the other day. One with Scotty, one with Jason McGinnis. I believe it was Jason. And I think James also, just talking about borium and grab and how a lot of the Europeans that train on the sand tracks, they always showed up to Mohawk with no grab on. We could never get our horses over Mohawk without borium or corks or both on. Just couldn't. It wasn't going to happen. If you had a trotter, you had at minimum a line of borium on a 5/8, 9/16 or half-inch, half-round trotting shoe. Full swedge, you might be okay. Might trickle a little line of borium across the toe of that also. And I just thought it was always so fascinating. You'd see Jimmy Tactor show up and they'd have like 9/16 up front with nothing. But I think the horses just get used to it, right? They're used to that. I know how the conversation came up. We were talking about racing horses barefoot, and I said that it's just something I've never had any luck doing, or maybe I don't know the right time to do it or how to do it. You hear, this horse is going to race barefoot tonight. You're like, oh, cool. I'll never forget it. I've told this story before, but I'll never forget this story till the day I die. When I just thought it was the most ballsy thing I'd ever seen in my life. Ron Burke took the hobbles and the shoes off of What the Hill, won the Hambo. Now, obviously, he was subsequently set back for interference, but won the Hambo. This is a horse that won his elimination, or was I think he was first or second in his elimination, with shoes and trotting hobbles on. And then for the final of the Hambletonian, the biggest race of his life, they took everything off. I couldn't believe it. And then he went out and won. There's always stuff to learn in this industry, and that's one thing I would like to learn. Memento Mori, I'm sure, I'm probably going to ask some of the Europeans down there also, because there's a horse there that will get into his jacks. Now, the reason I'm saying this is Hasty Bit, James's horse. James always told me he'd chew his shins up behind and pound his jacks, and he just would always get at himself. Even this year when he come back, get at himself. And when he went down to the Meadowlands for the first night, they raced him barefoot, and I broke all his feet up. But raced him barefoot, the horse raced amazing. Then what they did, they just put a tip of a shoe on his toe just to protect his toe, because he'd broken away some of his hoof, and he actually looked better, James thought. I don't know if they put shoes on him behind after that. I have no idea. But Memento Mori, same type of thing. That's what he'll do. I think he's going to be a killer in Kentucky. Anyway, I'm getting off track. Melisandre, qualified Melisandre, or schooled Melisandre at 2.7. Somebody said, "Is that what you wanted to go?" And I said, "Yeah, that's what she was ready to go." Well, geez, when do you think she'll be ready? I said, "After today, 3-4 weeks." Well, I thought she was going to be ready before that. So did I. I thought she was going to be ready like a month ago. She's not. And that's the one thing that's so very, very important, is to understand what the horse's capabilities are. This has nothing to do with ability or soundness. This is simple physical maturity. She just doesn't feel like she's able to do anymore. I've come a quarter in 29 seconds with her. I know she's fast. I know she's speedy. I know she's quick. I know she understands the game. She'll put her nose right on the starting gate, right on the gate, and follow it around. Does not bother her in the least. So I'm thinking, if she understands the game and is not sour or moody, because she's not, a little cranky sometimes, she's a filly. A horse with that good a breeding, that depth in her pedigree, decent work ethic, nice gait, for sure. It's not hard to figure out. She's just not physically ready to go yet. She will tell us when she's ready to go. I'm probably just going to hang out around 2.7, 2.8, 2.6, 2.5 with her, until I go with her one day and she looks real good. And then I'll go a mile and 2.2 with her. Hopefully she looks really good that day. And then she's ready to go. Now, for my partners, that used to be our group of 3 Point Blue Chip, you'll remember this story. It's very ominous. It sounds just like him. He was ready to go. We had schooled him in 2 minutes a couple of times. End of July. He just wasn't quite ready to rock. Took him to Mohawk, qualified him. James qualified him, liked him, took him to Mohawk, qualified him, raced him. The rest is history. Now, he was a bigger, stronger stud colt. This is a smaller, dainty, trotting filly. She's going to tell us when she's ready to go. It's not right now. It's not yet. I can't risk hurting her when I know she's just not ready to rock yet. She's close. She's almost walked up to the doorstep. She's just ready to knock on the door. She's just not there yet. So be patient, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. For all my partners out there, doesn't really matter what I say. I can tell you she's ready right now. She's ready in a week. She'll be ready in 2 weeks. Doesn't matter. She'll be ready when she tells us she's ready, and not before. So we're going to hang out around 2.6, 2.7. I left her at the Meadows today. I want to school her again next week and see if I see progression. I don't want to see regression, and I'd have no reason to think we would. But I would like to see progression. I left What a Lady, What a Night there also, because I have every intention of qualifying her in 2 minutes next week, with or without hobbles on. Again, that will be up to her. I don't think she'll need them. We'll see. So I was happy with today. I wasn't bubbling. I went over there, virtually, almost literally holding my breath for high hopes. Optimistic about the other two. Honestly, don't take this the wrong way. I'm not trying to be cavalier, but I really don't care about the break with What a Lady, What a Night. She's not a breaker. I saw what happened today. We will fix it. And I have no concerns with her moving forward. Very happy that Allie's Got Grit looks so good today. Happy that High Hopes got qualified. And happy that Melisandre did her work well. So everything was well today. I guess the break in the qualifier is a little bit of a knock for today, but for the most part, I was super happy with the way the entire day went. Now I'm on my way back to Ontario. A little peeved that I won't get to see Ollie play. What are you gonna do? Not much you can do about it. I guess I'll see him play next week. So, with that, I hope you guys are having a good day. If you're in Ontario, I hope you didn't get flooded. Like there was businesses completely flooded. I didn't see the rain falling. I didn't see any clips of the rain falling. Literally, Steve told me it was the worst rainstorm. I'm certain that's what he said. The worst rainstorm he'd ever seen. Oh well. Anyway, take care. I will talk to you all soon. We're not racing today. Not that I'm aware of. We are. I am going to be in Ohio tonight. I am going to train Mountaineer Prince. A lot of people saying, Anthony, what about Mountaineer Prince? He is going to school tomorrow. I don't mean behind the gate. I mean to the school of Anthony, and he will be there tomorrow morning. First bell will be 8:30. And also, I guess I should have led with this. Arson is not going to the Adios. I made a mistake the other day. I think I get screwed up on my messages with Eric. It wasn't Westland Warrior that cut his ankle. It was Arson. Scotty thought he was twisted around in the last turn when he was clearing in the front. He just touched his ankle. He did that before. If you guys remember last year, we wore just a rubber patch over the place where he touched with some vet wrap. I think we'll probably go back to that because that did happen last year. Probably the third time it's happened in his life. But it was no worse for wear. Both Eric, Scotty, and the veterinarian, that they ended up putting 2 staples in him, I believe. The vet had messaged me and said, he'd be fine. It's not a big deal. So that in itself would be enough to keep him out of the Adios. If the fact that Legendary Hanover's not headed there, which he is, if that wasn't enough to keep him out, the staples certainly would. So Arson, and to be honest, I don't think I was ever truly in favor of taking him there. I entertained the idea. I think Scotty was on the fence, and then also when the word that he had staples, he didn't. I'll tell you how minor the cut was, though. Scotty didn't even know he cut himself. I had to tell him. 2 staples put in. He said, "Really?" I said, "Yeah." So Eric, when we got the news, obviously, but the staples, that was it. It's not going to happen. So Arson won't be going to the Adios, which I think in the bigger scheme of things is a good thing. But Time Is On My Side will be. And it's not that I think Time Is On My Side's a better horse. It's that Time Is On My Side isn't scheduled to be anywhere else. Right? This is where he's going. This was his race. It's a Pennsylvania horse in Pennsylvania. I wish he was in Kentucky, but he's not. So that's where we're at with Arson. That's where we're at with all the qualifiers today. You're now completely updated. And as far as Mountaineer Prince, as I said, he's going to have some work poured to him tomorrow morning, and we'll get to the bottom of what is ailing the Prince this summer. So with that, I'll let you go. Hope you guys are having a good day. If you're in Ontario, you needed your umbrella earlier, but I don't think you need it for the rest of the day. You can put it away. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, wherever you might be. I will talk to you all tomorrow. Take care.